So we're recorded, we're live, and it is month one of September's new coach training. So if you've been following along, last week, Melanie did the new coach kickoff call for the month. And the whole idea of that call is to give you the outline of what you should be doing right now, right off the start, to get your business launched and going. One of the biggest things that you're going to hear us talk about over and over again is establishing what you're working towards. Why are you here? What did you go through your mind the day that you weren't a coach and then became one? What was it that made you hit submit? And that change, or that why, can change over the course of your business. By all means, 6 years ago, the reason I hit submit is definitely different than it was today. 6 years ago, it was like I thought a discount sounded cool on Shakeology, and now this has become my full-time business and a main source of support for my family. And it's crazy to think how that has changed over the years, but it all started with an initial decision. And then as I grew and my desires changed, I began to change the actions I put forth in my business. So always understand your your results will match the effort that you put in. And that is the one of the best parts about this business, is you are in control of where you take this. So we go through the month one goals, or the week one call. We're going to talk about the month one goals, understanding your business activity tracker, AKA your daily checklist of what you should be doing to build your business. Talk a little bit about crafting your posts, inviting, which is not an optional thing, but rather something you guys need to be doing and get comfortable and confident with every single day. Understanding that sales is actually a really good thing, and we'll have a little remember the coffee thing here at the end. So diving into your month one goals, what I want everyone to do is begin thinking of what I like to call the dirt list. The friends and family of yours who would come and buy dirt from you if you were selling it because they love you so much. Those are the people who you want to start with. Those are the people who you can text. You don't have to have some pretty graphic on social media, and you don't have to have some perfectly crafted post, but you can straight up say, this is what I'm doing, and I want you to do it with me. Those first 3 people that you enroll are going to be significant in a couple ways. For one, the first 3 people that you enroll will earn you back your initial investment. So one of the goals is that whenever you enroll with your challenge pack, you spend your $160 on your enrollment to get started, which gives you your fitness and nutrition anyways, but that's what gets you started in the business. 3 people is going to help you earn that back. 3 people also helps you hit Success Club, which is another term you're going to hear over and over again. But Success Club is basically the benchmark the company uses to measure, are you onboarding new coaches and customers every single month? You get prizes from the company at like 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12 months throughout the year. You also get the recognition from your team, and you also get what we call success starters. Now, success starters comes with 3 months of hitting Success Club out of your first 6 months. But that success starters has a couple things attached to it, one of which is the earning your summit ticket. Now, I understand 2020 was a little bit off, but hopefully in 2021, we'll be back at our annual Coach Summit in St. Louis. And hitting success starters gives you that ticket for free. And if you're anything like me, if I have a coupon, to me, I can't waste that coupon. And that's how I looked at my Success Starter ticket 6 years ago. I don't know that I would have gone to that summit event back when I first started. I was a brand new baby coach. I didn't really know what I was getting into and what my goals were. I didn't understand all that, but I knew I had this ticket with a $300 value. And in my mind, I couldn't let it go to waste. When I used that Success Starter Summit to help me get to my very first summit event, it changed the course of my business because I got such a bigger picture of what the team was all about, getting together in person, the live trainings, the workouts with the trainers, and so many other things. So this isn't a spiel about Summit, but I do want to make sure you guys understand that by hitting Success Club, 3 of your first 6 months as a coach, it does give you that Success Starter, let's say, reward qualification, but that is something that helps you get that summit ticket. In addition, something new this year is all success starters get an invitation to an exclusive test group opportunity. So right now, if you were a success starter by July of 2020, you got an invitation to be in the Control Freak test group with Autumn Calabrese. I don't know, we don't have any program announcements after Control Freak in January. So if you hit success starters over the next 3-6 months, you're going to earn a spot in whatever the new program is coming out in 2021. This can be so big for your business in so many different ways. You get in on an exclusive group. You get to do something before anybody else does it. You get in with the trainers. You get to work with other people who are also success starters like you. So you kind of have an opportunity to create those friendships and, those business relationships with people. And that all comes from literally doing what I'm telling you is your very first month one job, your month one goal, the Hit Success Club, to help 3. So how do we get that? Honestly, go back to the dirt list. Who are the people who you could go to with anything you needed? I'll give you the example. When I first started, I sent out a text message with my 21-day result out to my mom and my mother-in-law and my sister and my sister-in-law and my best friends and my college roommates. And I was like, this is just what I did. Who wants to be my first customer? Wasn't fancy. It wasn't, it didn't have this great spiel attached to it. It was a straight up, I did this, come do it with me. So I'll go over some scripts as we go later in the call, but I do want you to begin thinking who those first couple people could be. My sister was one of mine because she's my sister, and she was in the military at the time. So she was deployed. I knew that they didn't have great nutrition when she was deployed, and I was like, hey, you could be my first customer, and I know how you're complaining about the food on the ship. Will you do this? And she was like, absolutely. I explained to my husband what I wanted to do, where I was going with this, what I saw other coaches doing, and I'm like, they all say sign up your spouse first. I don't really know why, but will you come support me with this? And you know what? He's been all in on the fitness and nutrition since I started too. So it was kind of a win-win. He was one of my first coaches, but he also went all in on the fitness nutrition side with me too. I know not everybody has a spouse that's going to jump on board with them. You can go to your parents, you can go to your best friends, like I said, your siblings. And those first 2 people that you get to enroll under you, yes, it's helping you earn those Success Club points when they buy a challenge pack, but it's also helping you get to Emerald. And that's one of the other goals for month 1. So your first 3 customers, 2 of which who are enrolled as coaches, help you get to Emerald status. And Emerald is really just the first rank advancement as a coach. Emerald means you have had 2 coaches enroll under you. We have other calls that we've done, and I know we'll do some in the coming months to go over all the various benefits of why Emerald is important. But at this point, I just want you to understand it gives you that recognition as you're starting out as a coach, and it also helps you unlock cycle earning potential. Again, not going to go into all that detail now, but just understand if you're driven from a financial side of things or a recognition things, both of those will help you as you get to Emerald rank. And again, obviously, as you earn back your, every person you enroll, you're earning commission. So you're building your business, you're earning income, you're earning back that initial investment, and you're getting that recognition. So people see it's not that she's just posting these things, you're actually doing something with them. So obviously it's cool to say, okay, Hit Success Club, get the first 2 coaches under you, but how are we going to get there? Honestly, this is all you need to know. There are tons of trainings out there that can give you lots of other nitty-gritty details and ideas of other things that you can do, and those are great. And if you have the extra time, definitely take the time to explore training opportunities and explore other things that, maybe allow you to be creative and allow you to share more of who you are. But at the end of the day, these are the things that you should be doing every single day. And it doesn't matter who's speaking on what national wake-up call at some point they're going to mention, they follow the business activity tracker. They follow these daily activities. So the very first part is kind of a no-brainer. But also the most important one. You want to be proof the products work. You could see your coach's transformation, and it could be mind-blowing, and it could take you from that, I want to do this, to I'm all in. But if you shared your coach's transformation on your page, your friends might just think, good for her. They don't have an emotional connection to that person, so it's less likely that they're going to be highly motivated by somebody that they don't know. But when you share your own personal journey, your takeaways, your wins, your successes, they're more likely to want to join you because they already know and love and trust you. And when they see you sharing that, what you've been talking about, what you've been supporting, what you've been showcasing, that actually it produces results, because that's at the end of the day what we want to help our customers get. And that comes from working out and drinking your Shakeology every day. So while this is the first 2 items on the business activity tracker, I feel like those kind of should be a no-brainer check mark every day. And obviously, you're being a coach is going to help you have the ultimate accountability tool, because you're doing this as part of your job, but it's really part of your journey too. So this part here, just be proof the product works, because your personal journey is going to be the greatest tool you guys have as a coach. Moving into number 2, this is where the bulk of our work comes each day. This is where, if you hear people talk about doing a power hour or spending an hour a day on your business, this is the part that comes into play. Now you'll see the section, like the time that like Beachbody created this through input from coaches, and they have an hour and 40 minutes correlated to this bar here. If you only have an hour a day to work your business, cut all these in half. Cut them in half. If it says 20 minutes, spend 10. If it says 10, spend 5. And use that as a way to really make sure that you're not just doing some, but you actually are doing all of them, because all of them are important to do. The very first thing that you'll see is initiate connections and add followers. So this is important for a few reasons. Obviously, we don't want to be somebody who just goes on social media and starts inviting everybody to be a part of our group without ever actually talking to them. It's called social media because you're there to be social. So don't just go on and be like, oh my gosh, I started this business, I got to get everybody here to do it. And if you're that excited, great. But before you jump right into telling every, person that went to like preschool with you 20 years ago that they need to be a part of this, take some time to get to know your people. This comes from that initiating connections and adding followers. Now you can still go to maybe somebody you had a preschool with 20 years ago and add them or follow them and begin that connection. Maybe you have kids the same age. Maybe you obviously went to the same school. Maybe you have the same profession, but starting to look for people who you can connect with. In the beginning, it was very much going through coworkers, and because I wasn't someone who used social media, so I never hit the add friend button before I started coaching. So when I got started with this, it was, who did I go to high school with? Who did I go to college with? Who were my prior coworkers at all the little odd jobs along the way and in my career, and all these little places that I could begin just having that social media connection with. Or adding the followers. And then once you add them, how can you connect with them? Like I said, it's super easy for me to correlate with something with, my kids. So for example, I posted this morning, my daughter is in 4th grade. And if you have a 4th grader or ever have, they get a recorder, like a musical recorder. And my daughter has been high pitching notes since she brought it home from school yesterday. So I had made a post about that. And it's so unrelated to Beachbody or coaching or anything, but it allows me to connect with other people. So it's just some common ground. So, keeping that in mind, we're not just here to sell people Beachbody things and have them come join our teams. Yes, that's part of it, but there's so much more to it. And this makes it fun when you are able to connect with people who have a similar interest as you, or have a similar obstacle to overcome from getting her from playing that recorder 24 hours, 7 days a week. So that's this very first part, initiating connections, adding followers. Again, if 20 minutes is too long for you, start with 10. Doing a social media post that showcases the benefits of your healthy lifestyle or has a call to action. Call to action posts are vital because you need to let people know that what you're doing and what you're excited about and what you're sharing is something that they can be a part of too, something you can help them with. But you also want to find the balance of not just call to action posts every single day, but rather sharing, learning, giving people, make them laugh, give them hope, give them motivation, and then you can ask for the call to action. So I generally focus on 1, maybe 2 posts a day on social media. You don't need to do more than that. Some people, can tell you that if you've been around for a while, back in the day, we used to do like 5 or 6 posts a day, which is just wild. It kind of like was negated by all the story stuff that later came, but you don't have to make a ton of posts. You just want to make sure that when you are making a post, that is something that adds value. And we'll go into the posts here a little bit more. Your stories, this is where you really get to have fun. It is, I don't remember the statistic. I feel like it was something like 70% or something like that, but we'll go with 70. That 70% of people, when they open Instagram, they go to the stories before they ever scroll the feed. So if somebody has maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes, or they're, in the school pickup line, or they're cooking dinner and waiting for something to finish, whatever it may be, most of the time they're going to stories before they ever go through the post. Yes, we still need to make posts. Yes, we still need to have them, but stories are really where you can connect to people and relate to them. So this gives you a couple things to include in your stories. Obviously, daily life, and this goes along with, again, the fact that we're not just coaches. We are people, we are friends, we are wives, we are, employees, we are sisters, we are whatever you are, you're all those things, you're going to share your daily life. I find workout clips to be one of the easiest things to put in my stories every day because I'm working out every day, or most every day. So I always do the little hands-free option on my Instagram. It gives you a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and it allows me to record portions of my video to showcase on my stories. I used to do this as just a regular post before stories came along, but what I found was one time I asked my coaches that had joined me, I was like, what was it that attracted you? And so many of them said they liked that they could see me doing the moves because they could put themselves in my shoes. So not just saying you're going to work out, but what exactly are they going to be doing? Giving them those little sneak peeks. And it's not enough to give them a full workout that they're not even going to need you anymore. It's enough to show them, hey, in 15 seconds, this is, 3 of the moves I did today. So I always put the workout clips in there. Product use, you don't want to be someone who's like, throwing the Shakeology bottle up there or talking about Energize. You might want to say like your morning go-go juice or, your liquid sunshine, or, I always say chocolate covered vegetables when I'm showcasing my shake, but sharing those things so that when someone says, when you're telling them, what's involved in your boot camp or what they can get in a challenge pack, you can use, that thing I mix up every morning when I do my little dance party, that's the Energize. That's what I drink before I work out. And when you see me dump that like chocolatey thing into a cup that I'm like raving about, calling chocolate covered vegetables, that's actually our superfood shake. So giving them those examples, but you don't want to just tell them what it is, because then they're going to go Google it. They're going to Google Shakeology and they're going to go buy it on their own without working with a coach, or, it's not going to go to you. So you want to show the products you're using, but you also want to do it in a way that doesn't necessarily give away what you're doing, so you can have those conversations with people. Anytime you're cooking a meal, you can always show, a little snippet on your stories of what the ingredients are that go into it, or one skillet meal, show them a picture of it. A lot of times I'll just take the recipe and take a snapshot of it, and then just put the snapshot on my stories and just say, here you go, here's the recipe, save this down or screenshot this. So good. Like simple things that allow you to give something to your followers, like the recipes, is super easy. It doesn't require you to type out a blog post and make it all fancy and say, this is my recipe. Take a snapshot, throw it up there, give them a new idea. Call to actions. I literally have a call to action in my stories every single day. If you looked at my stories right now, you'll see I had a coaching call to action yesterday. And then I think after my workout this morning, I had something on there about like DM me if you're interested in joining the boot camp or something along those lines. So I throw a call to action up every day, because while we are on our stories every day, the people who are watching us aren't necessarily on there every day. So if you don't have it up there continuously, they don't always know that you can help them. Similarly, a lot of people have to see it more than once or twice or 3 times or 10 times before they're actually like, okay, like I get it. I see the sign, I'm coming. So I do aim to have a call to action every day. You can do it in so many different ways. There's the, a poll option. And if you're using a poll, make sure you put like 2 positive answers. Like I don't ever put like a negative or a no. It's like a yes or hell yes. Or, I'm all in, or I'm super curious. And I use different language like that so that I can still engage with whoever answers, no matter what it is. There's also the little slide bar on Instagram stories. You can do that. I think it's called quiz, but it gives you a choice of 3 answers. Are you interested in fitness? Are you interested in business, or making fitness your business together? So you can do different things with that, but I do aim to have a call to action every day, because when I come down to, this next part here with responding to all likes, comments, or views, or even inviting, I now know who's engaging and watching my stuff. So doing these, responding to them or inviting people to join me, is so much easier when I have a call to action poll or quiz or something up on my Instagram stories. And then just the last part here, recognition and shout out. And this is something I've been doing more of lately, and it's fun because people love to see it. But when somebody says to me, I'm all in, I'll screenshot their message to me. I don't necessarily put their name up, and I'll throw that message up to my Instagram stories and be like, another one just committed, are you next? Or, I did a Transformation Tuesday thing in my challenge group yesterday. And I was like, besides just the weight, what are you feeling differently over the last, 2 weeks? What can you share? And I took those responses and I put those up in actually did that like shortly before this call. I put those responses in my story. So if you went and looked at my stories now, you would see a variety of things that I've shared in there that just allow me to kind of let people know other people are joining me. They're joining, they're getting results. Are you next? Do you want more information? And I kind of put that out there. I want it to be very much like, when you're ready, I'm here to help you. And I'm proud of the people who have already made this commitment. Moving down, again, just responding to your likes. This goes along with the whole idea that being on social media and being social. So you don't want to just put a post up and have people engage with you and leave it. Like, and even if it's, I was talking to one of my coaches yesterday and she's like, you know what, when I had my last transformation picture, I messaged people who commented, but I never went through the likes. I was like, oh my gosh, those are gold mine. If someone's liking your transformation picture, it doesn't have to be like the fact that they didn't comment. To some people, that like on your post is all the courage they can muster up to let you know that they're interested. Not everybody is comfortable on social media. So to somebody, that might be like that little like cry for help. Like, I need you, I see you, I'm watching you, and I want to be a part of what you're doing. So don't disregard someone who's only liking your post. They may just not be, confident enough to comment and see their name on social media below a post. But know that that is an amazing opportunity for you to connect with that person. So responding to the likes every single day, and then keeping your list of who you're engaging with or who's saying, hey, yeah, I'm interested, so that you can follow up with those people. And I'll admit there are times where I am following up and then I realize, oh my gosh, like that person messaged me and I totally dropped the ball. Whether I didn't write their name down or, I wrote their name down wrong or too messy and I didn't know who it was. And then it like stings when you go back and they're like, oh my gosh, like I actually did sign up, but I signed up with someone else because I never heard back from you. Like, that's on you as a business owner to stay on top of who you are talking to, because a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, almost all people are busy. If you ask somebody how they're doing, they're busy. If you ask them what's new, they're busy. Everybody's busy. So most people are good. Like, if they're interested, now it's on you to make sure you stay on top of them and get them, from that interested to committed standpoint, because they're not always going to, stay on top of things and come back to you. That's why I have 22 to-do lists hanging around my computer, because I'm busy like everybody else and I forget things. And when I remember them, I slap a to-do or a post-it up. So understand that it's not that they're ignoring you. They may have just plain forgot. So that's where the follow-up really is huge. And then just the bottom part of the bat here, contributing to your challenge group. You want to be the best challenger. Sometimes when I see people flip from a challenger to a coach, they feel like, now they're in charge of these other people, and they forget that being the best challenger is the best thing you can do to show your people the road and show the people the way, and because they're going to follow your lead. So even if you were a challenger and now you're a coach, don't forget that you're still going to be and show up as the best challenger in your groups every single day. Recognizing achievement, this kind of goes along with what I shared in the stories section just before, is when somebody shares something with me, I'll ask them. Like, I have this one girl who's just crushing it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can I post this on my Facebook page? And she's like, absolutely, just don't tag me because, for whatever personal reasons. So recognize when somebody's sharing something. I mean, obviously, if it's sensitive or they're a little more private, you don't want to put something's results out there without their permission. But if you're proud, you can, at least if they're putting it in the challenge group, shout them back out in the challenge group and recognize them there. But ask them for their permission to shout them out on your stories. Most people are like, oh my gosh, absolutely, thank you. Like, they're proud of their work. They worked hard for that. So the recognition part is huge. And then personal development. And this is fourth, but certainly not any less significant than any other piece of this business activity tracker. And this just goes along with so many parts of just building a business. And if you've built a business before and you've gone through it, you understand, the ebbs and flows. But if this is your first time going through it, it can be, challenging. And you have these roadblocks, or you have these really good days or really bad days. And being able to have personal development to lean back on has been a huge piece. And honestly, I was someone who rolled my eyes at this the first time I listened on a new coach training. I thought, I'm good. I don't need any of that. That's for people who like really need serious help, and I am fine. But I had no idea how valuable it was going to be for life, not even just for this business, but like personal development has changed the way I parent, has changed the way I am with my spouse, has changed the way I lead other people in so many ways. So when your coach says personal development and recommends a book to you, or you talks and says, what are you reading right now? Don't disregard that, because it's a huge part. And I'll share with you, this is one I'm reading right now, High Performance Habits. I listened to it once before, but I'm going back and reading it. Brendon Burchard is the author of it. He's incredible. And then the other one, which has nothing to do with the business, but like I said, has changed the way I parent. The other book I'm reading is Strong Mothers, Strong Sons, which I can't recommend enough to anyone who has a little boy out there. Anyways, off subject, but I'm constantly reading other things. I also have an audiobook. The Audible app is awesome. It's through Amazon, but you can download books. I'm listening to one there. So when I'm in the car or sitting the 30 minutes in the pickup line at the end of the day at school, I usually have that on the radio, and I'll listen to that while I'm driving as well. So personal development is something that I'm constantly doing. One of the books I recommend starting with is The Compound Effect. Super simple, very easy read, great for business and life, but really just helps you understand how all these seemingly small, insignificant things that I'm mentioning that maybe you think, well, I could probably skip that one today, or I could skip that one tomorrow, that they all truly matter and they're here for a reason. But when you put them all together, amazing things can happen at the end of that. So Compound Effect is really great. I literally have a wall of books here. Ask for More, Alex Carter. She was on the National Wake Up Call back in March. She's the author of the book Ask for More. Really helps you go over her National Wake Up Call. I want to say it was the first week of March. A really good one to go back and listen to. But her book helps you just understand the right questions to ask. Because while we can say we're not salespeople, and we're certainly not people knocking on doors asking to buy insurance from us, or brooms or whatever it is, we are talking to people and trying to get them to join us through making a purchase. So yes, we are in fact selling a thing. I like to look at it like I'm giving you health and happiness in return, but there is a transaction that takes place. And her book, Ask for More, was a really good one in helping understand what questions to ask as you're talking through with people. But I know everyone's at different stages personally and in their coaching journey. So if you've got questions about what book you should be reading or what book you should read next, ask your coach. I know I have a list of personal development books by category in my team page for just a reference point. So any questions on the bat there? Kind of pause there real quick. Oh, Noella, 30-day breakaway. That's awesome. That is awesome. Rebecca, to answer your question, is month 1 when you first sign up or when you become active? It's all treated the same. So your sign up date's your sign up date. It used to be the first 3 months as a coach. So the month you signed up was month 1, and then you would either do month 1, 2, and 3, or months 2, 3, and 4. And they actually changed at the beginning of 2020 to include 6 months instead, because yes, some people do, sign up first for the discount, which was me, and then go on to pursue the business side of things. So they are treated all the same, but you now have 3 of your first 6 months as a coach to qualify for that. Okay, so moving on to crafting your post. So first and foremost, don't get hung up in the likes. If I look back on I open my Facebook and look at my memories almost every single day. And my early posts were definitely liked by my mom and my grandma. My husband wasn't even on social media. There were days I had 2, 3, 4 likes on a post, but I never took them down, because everything that I posted was helping me learn, and it was building my credibility, and it was showing the consistency that I had showing up for myself and for my business. So understand, you might rock at writing posts right now, and that's awesome. But if you follow along the line of where I was, where I hated English, I never read a book, and the idea of posting publicly on social media made my skin crawl, it took me a little bit longer. But the only way that I was going to get better at it was by doing it. And honestly, a lot of things that I was able to pull out as I began crafting better posts came from the books I was reading, which is another reason why personal development helps so much, because it's putting these positive things in your mind that you're reading and absorbing every single day. So my biggest suggestion is just start and understand that it will get better. Don't get hung up if it doesn't get a ton of likes or nobody's following you right away. Be consistent and be curious. If something you post works well and something else you post flops, analyze it. Was it the time of day that you posted it? Does that make a difference? I had somebody who used to constantly post at like 11:45 at night, and I'm like, sweet friend, nobody's online at 11:45 at night. Some are, most aren't. Most are in bed. So understand what you're doing. And if you can post at 11:45 at night and it rocks, then that's your market, and understand that. So be aware and be curious and just keep going. Don't get hung up about the likes. Don't worry about how many followers are at the beginning. I encourage you to just start and be consistent with it. You want to look at what we have as social media as a place that you get to add value. You share your favorite recipe, you share some daily motivation, you make somebody smile, you make somebody, motivated to go for a run. It may not be a direct sale to your business, but you're motivating people and you're making a difference. And that continues to compound as you continue to show up and share your story. I know we have other team calls that have gone in depth about crafting your story and being able to share that on social media. But in the beginning, one of the best things I can recommend that you do is truly sit down and think, why did you become a coach? You can have 14 reasons or 3. You could have financial reasons, emotional reasons, physical reasons, all of the above. But start thinking of those things, because the reasons that you took that step are probably the reasons that other people who are following you might be encouraged to take that step too. So it kind of might be like a little bit more of like a brain dump and start thinking about that. And like I said, there's other calls that will go into this on depth. This could be like a full hour in and of itself. But as you begin to think, how am I going to craft a story? How am I going to share my story? I don't have a story yet. So what am I even supposed to say? You do, because at some point you weren't a coach and today you are. And what took you from that decision is what you can begin writing down to help you determine why you did get to this point. It can be that, like I said, like the physical ones are super common. And if you have a transformation, that's probably a large part of it. Did you see, I know Farron Duran, she's a coach on the Dream Team. She'll forever tell you that she saw girls on a retreat and she was at home, covered in spit up and, uncomfortable with herself. And her whole goal was to be there at that beach. Didn't know what Beachbody was, didn't really understand Shakeology or multi-level marketing, none of that. That didn't matter. It was being on a beach somewhere. So there's so many different things, and we all have those different trigger points. I definitely started with a physical aspect. I wanted to lose the post-baby weight. And then I found out I could earn an income, and I was like, okay, what if I could cover the cost of the Shakeology? That would be cool. So I'm going to start there. Then it was like, oh my gosh, what if I could make enough to cover my groceries? Because I hated couponing every single week and only being limited to whatever I had a coupon to buy at the grocery store. So then that became a driving force, covering the groceries. And then I was like, what if I could cover a pedicure? Because I gave those up a long time ago and I wanted a pedicure, 100% selfishly. And it was all these little things that kind of built along the way that helped me, kind of get, so I could write a post about wanting a pedicure. And to the mama who's sitting there with ragged toes and a baby on her crying on her shoulder, she'd be like, oh dear Lord, I'd give anything for a pedicure right now. How do I do this? And to somebody who's tired of clipping coupons and who's tired of, not buying the healthy foods that she wants because of a limited budget, that could strike that. And for the person who maybe has the income but doesn't have the confidence and wants to be able to rock a bikini at the beach with her girlfriends, maybe that could be her point. So each of these things has a different aspect that can attract somebody who's watching you to join you. So don't think, oh, I don't have a story yet because I just started. You do. And it might take some time to think about it, but start with a little brain dump of why you did get from not a coach to a coach. And those will help get the basis for, the posts that you'll begin to write and share along your social media. So a few just kind of the highlights here. Like I said, 1 post a day. Aim to have about 5 to 10 stories a day. And it's really great if you can space them out throughout the day, because every time you post a new story, if somebody already watched your story and you post a new one, you tend to go to the front of their line. When you open Instagram and you see the whole row at the top, you want to be at people's front of the line, because again, people open it, they have 3 to 5 minutes. They're not going to spend all day watching stories. So you want to be at the top of that so they catch yours. So 5 to 10 is always a good ballpark to aim for, shared throughout the day. Think about what you're learning and share that. You might share something in your challenge group that becomes content. The things that people are sharing in your challenge group, those can become things that you then share publicly as posts or in your stories. And there's a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. I probably said that name wrong, but he does a really good job about this next point here about giving more than you ask. Because like I said, you don't want to constantly have call to action, call to action, call to action on all your posts. But at the same point, people need to know that you can help them. And a good kind of ratio is to have like 3 things where you're giving. You're giving motivation, you're making them laugh, you're, sharing a recipe or a tip about getting up in the morning with, sleepless kids, and then you're asking them to join you. And you can kind of keep that general formula going where you're giving them things, you're giving them motivation, you're giving them hope, you're giving them inspiration. And then you're saying, and if you want to be a part of this, like below, comment below, whatever it might be. Don't be a so what post. Just means when you write your posts, go ahead and read it back to yourself before you hit post. And if you find yourself saying, so what could you change to add value to your followers, to your audience, so that they do walk away with something they can relate to, something that they can be motivated by, something that they can be inspired or have hope with. But you want to look at those as things that are adding value. And value doesn't have to be like life-changing aspects, just value in some form where it makes a difference in the person who's reading it. Growing your following just goes along with what we shared the very first thing on the business activity tracker, which is continuously adding new followers. I've seen it so often where somebody comes in and actually does have a social media account that's active and has a lot of engagement, and they don't grow their followers, which means month 1, you might hit Success Club from those friends and followers, and month 2 maybe as well. And if you're lucky, month 3. But if you're not also growing, all those people, you have nobody new coming in, and you want to constantly be having new eyes on your page, new people to interact with, and new clients to on board into your groups. And just real quick thing, Instagram bio, this is what mine is. Yours can be anything. I have that I'm a mom of 2, happily married, for any creeper out there on Instagram that's going to send some wacky message. I always like to be clear on that. I'm a retired CPA turned business owner. This was actually a sneak peek that I did through Instagram that I actually don't use anymore. So it's up here, but I actually need to remove that because I don't use it anymore. Talk about fitness and freedom, my email address, and then Smart Bio. There are 2 things that you can use for your website here. You're only allowed 1 link, but Smart Bio, or another one's called Linktree. I'll put the, it's spelled a little bit different. Linktree, link, how is it? T-R-E-E? I think that's what it is. It's different, but Linktree is the other one. Trina, how do you keep DM for collab comments? I just ignore them, to be honest. I just kind of let the collab things go. But Linktree and this Smart Bio both allow you, they're both free. They don't cost anything, but it allows you to have multiple links. So if you looked at mine, there's a link. I don't know if I've updated it. Whatever's going on. So if it's, I'm actually going to write that down right now to update my Instagram bio link, because I don't know if I've updated it lately. But if, like, for instance, if I think what's there, it's probably something for MBF, probably a link for a general challenge group, information about joining my team. I have like a link for my Amazon favorites. I have a Lululemon affiliate link. So I have that in there. I have another one for Kiava. So as you get other links, you can put them up there. If somebody's constantly asking you, where your leggings are from or what your favorite hair products are, if you've got other things that you're interested in outside of this, you can add multiple things in there. So that's what I really like about Smart Bio, is it gives you the opportunity to share multiple links. And again, Linktree or Smart Bio will allow you to do that. Just don't put your independent Team Beachbody shop link there. I see it all the time, and it makes me like, I want to go to these people and be like, I don't know who your coach is, but please remove that from your bio, because you don't want people to just go to your page and buy from you. We're not here to just sell things. We want to help them get results. We can only help them get results if we're engaged with them and we're helping them get started and engage in our groups. And that's why I can't stand the shop link that's in the bio. But and obviously, some people say Team Beachbody coach, and you are that, but you're so much more. So if you identify yourself only as an independent Team Beachbody coach, you're kind of limiting the scope of what you do and who you can help and who you are. So I always like to kind of keep it more about you, and people can scroll through to see, who you are and what you do. A couple little things if you're, kind of getting started, what to share each day. This kind of gives a little kind of breakdown. You can share like an inspirational thing on Monday, like a Monday motivation. I am big on transformation Tuesdays. If you look, I constantly, here's a transformation from yesterday. Here's a transformation from last week. I want people, when they open my Instagram at any given day, if they look at the first 9 photos, they see a transformation, because that is such a huge part of our business and of my journey. So I'm constantly putting my transformation up there in different ways. This is more like, this is MBF. This is over the course of, 6 years. So I do different things. But transformation is a big one for me. You can also do like face-to-face Friday, throwback Thursday, different ways to showcase that value or tip on a Wednesday. Share something coaching has done for you on Thursdays. Thursday's payday, it's Rank Advancement Day. So I always say Thursday's a good day to highlight coaching. Fun fact Friday, a little like, I've noticed new followers here. Here's 5 fun facts about me, and just allows you to connect with your audience. And to post and to share in ways that aren't solely about the business, but allow you to connect and engage with your following. Saturday, I usually keep things light, whether it's like a quote, I like to throw these white images up there just to kind of break things up. But I'll do quotes. You don't want to use stock photos or like Beachbody lingo. And yes, in the early days, I absolutely had like my bag of Shakeology in my hand or my shaker cup. But you don't want it to be limited to someone's like, oh, that girl's just bragging about her shakes. You want it to be more than that. Why do you love your Shakeology? What has it done for you? Has it helped you reduce a medicine in some form or fashion? Has it given you more energy? Does it help you stay out of the drive-through? And like, there's so much more to it than just the products themselves. Sharing, this is like another, just to kind of showcase different things I put on my grid. I'm big on, and I do share my family publicly. I get that question a lot. Do you share your family? Do you share your kids? I do. I know some people do keep their kids off social media. I feel like it's just a very part of 2020 and my job and our lives. And my kids actually really enjoy being a part of my business as well. They understand what I do and why I do it. And it's kind of like a family affair over here. If I use something like, this was from Scary Mommy, I kept their, I gave them the credit there because I didn't write this thing, but I thought it was funny. This is another transformation picture. This is me and my husband from a transformation picture. So you can, again, see that I show a lot of transformation pictures, share my family, share quotes, things that will help me relate to other people. The apps that I use, this is really it. There's tons out there. You can experiment. You can find things that work for you. I use Snapseed. I use Lightroom with a preset. So I pretty much have the exact same preset overlaid on every picture, and it just helps them give them a uniform look. I think I paid $3 or $4 for it on Etsy. Unfold is good for Instagram stories. If you want to add a little bit of flair to your Instagram stories or collages to them, you don't have to, but it is an app they use. Word Swag is what I use when I'm like creating the quotes myself versus just using somebody else's here. And then Pick Play Post is what you can put videos in. So if I'm going to use videos, I use Pick Play Post. So again, lots more. If you have one that you love, feel free to drop it in the comments here. You let other people know, but this is really limited to what I use. Moving on to the invite side of things. I hope that's not my kid's fault. Moving on to the invites. So you do need to be inviting every day. And like I said, this comes to the fact that some people don't have enough courage to say, I need help. Some people, they see you and they're inspired by you, but the act of saying, I want to join you is just something that they can't overcome. So by you being confident in what you have to offer somebody else allows you to take away that fear that's holding them back and to be, just say this, like, I want you to be a part of this with me. So I do invite every day. There's a real low invite, 3 people a day suggested here. But understand if you really want to grow and build your business, you're going to be inviting more than 3 people a day. You want to be bold and you want to be excited. You can use voice memos. You can chug your Energize before you go on an invite spree to really let people know how excited you are. We have scripts. I thought I just heard something. I guess my husband, maybe, I don't know. Okay, you scared me. It was my husband. It like, freaked me out. And you can use scripts. I have some other scripts that we'll be sharing here. Ask for help. If you're not sure what to say to somebody, or you make a post and people are messaging you like, hey, I'm interested, and you're like, help, like, what do I do? Ask your coach, because we have the resources. You know, I know sometimes you can freeze and be like, oh my gosh, like I didn't think anybody was actually going to say yes. And they said yes. And now I don't know what to do. Use the information that's provided and don't overthink it. Talk to them, have a conversation, use the voice feature. That's great. You don't have to worry about like mistyping something, and just say, oh my gosh, I saw your comment. You're so like, I'm so excited that you're interested in joining us, and just begin that conversation. Here's a few example scripts that you guys can use. I can share this PDF of this, so you guys have this as well. So just a couple samples. So this one would be to somebody who, you know, just like you haven't started yet yourself, but you're getting started. So, hey, Melissa, I just joined a virtual accountability group. We're doing this brand new 21-day program, AKA MBF. I'm blown away with every aspect. I'm determined to get these 10 pounds off that managed to creep in during the quarantine craze. I found my coach on Instagram. Her results are amazing. Would you want to do this with me, with us? I would love to have the accountability, and we could keep each other on track and through text. Would you be interested in? So this would be the thing that you would go to like with somebody who you already know. Like you're not messaging your, you know, long lost, you know, friend from 20 years ago and asking them to do this, but your friends that you're talking to, your family members, to say, this is what I saw. This is why I joined. This is what I want to get out of it. Do you want to do it together? This is a super like great way to start out with your, you know, current friends. Here's another one on the coach aspect. Hey, Melissa, I have something to tell you. You know how much I love health and fitness. I decided to join Beachbody as a coach because I believe in their products, and I want to take my passion and turn it into a biz. I'd love to have you as my first customer and testimonial. Would you be interested? So this is asking them to be your first customer. This is actually what I asked with my sister. Will you be my first customer? So it wasn't anything like I had like a whole lot of, you know, information for her. It was more, will you come support me in this? Asking for people to be the testimonials, I feel like helps take off the fact that you're not saying, I need you to do, you know, an 80-day program, or I need you to drink Shakeology for a year. Ask them if they'll just try it. Do this 21-day program, drink Shakeology for a month. Give me, you know, your feedback. You don't have to, you know, unless you absolutely love it, like I think you will, you don't have to keep doing it. Just be one of my first customers. Couple other ones, and this goes on transformations, and this is literally exactly what I've been using the last couple months, because I do share a lot of transformations, and it helps me just that way to connect with people. So thanks for the love, support. You gave my recent transformation photo. It used to be scary putting myself out there like this, but with this kind of response of amazing people like you, combined with knowing it may be helping just one person start their own transformation, it's so worth it. Have you ever been curious about hopping in with us? So I thank them, I let them know why, and I ask them if they're curious about joining. Some people say, what do you do? Some people say, oh my gosh, I've been watching forever. Like, I know this is my time. Some people ignore me. So I definitely get all, you know, aspects of that. But this has been a super simple, I don't feel like I'm salesy sending a message like this. I find that my transformation pictures, even though if you look at them, you can tell that they're not great weight loss transformations. My body has just changed over time. For me, it hasn't been this awesome, phenomenal 50-pound weight loss. I've actually gained weight over time, but I still leverage my transformations to be able to connect with other people. And this one's been working really well for me. Similarly, you can see who's watching your stories. Like I said, most people are going to open Instagram and they go straight to Instagram stories before they ever scroll and look at somebody's posts. But for a lot of people, that's how they're creeping your stuff. And while you can't tell who's looking at your scroll and who's looking at your post, you can see who watches your stories. So this is another way that I connect with people every single day, is I say, thanks for keeping up with my stories. Putting myself isn't always on there, but I'm on a mission to whatever. Are you talking about coaching? Are you talking about your next boot camp? Did you just open enrollment? Whatever it is. And ask them, are you following me for this, this, or this? Or are you interested in learning more about what I do as a coach? So this is someone who's just watching your stuff. To me, that's eye contact. I don't consider that cold market because they're watching my stuff. They're watching me every day. They probably know more about me than I think they do because they're watching along. And if they're following along, I feel like I then have permission to ask them if they're interested in joining me. Here's another one. Hey, Melissa, your feed's inspiring. I think I just blew up your page. This would be like if you see someone who'd be like the ideal coach and you're looking at their posts, you're reading their stuff, you're loving and connecting with what they have to say. You have such a powerful message. I'm always looking for positive influencers to join my team. Have you ever considered joining or becoming a coach? So like I said, I'll share this PDF with you guys so you can see the example wording. And then here's just one more on just actually getting somebody signed up. I always offer the discount. I know somebody had added in the comments, a question about is your date, your discount date, or the date you become actively working. When I got started, I only became aware of the coaching opportunity because I wanted a discount. Because quite frankly, we needed the discount to be able to afford Shakeology every month. So I was I'm not going to do this, and I canceled my Shakeology HD right after I started, to then I signed up as a coach for the discount, to then I began building a business from it. So I do offer the discount to every person because I know to some people that $15 is going to make or break them at the end of the month. And I know that by offering them the discount and getting them signed up as a coach opens the door to at least having the conversation about the business. I became curious. I started reading the emails that Beachbody would send me and reading the things that my coach would share in her team page. And the curiosity was enough for me to go and run with the business. So I always look at each person that I sign up could be the other person just like I was, who needed the discount, who needed to save the $15, and who is going to chase that curiosity the same way I did. So here's a simple, a simple wording, when you're getting signed up. Okay, let's get you signed up. I always have to ask, would you be interested in signing up as a coach? You can say coach, you can say affiliate, you can say VIP discount member, and getting 2 to 3 friends to join to do this with you. You could get your challenge pack paid for and save 25% on everything you order after the challenge pack. So this just is, again, and some people they take it and some are like, let me at least get started for a month and we'll see. And you can always switch it down the road, but I do always offer it. It also helps get you to that first goal that we shared in the beginning, one of the goals being Emerald. Your first 2 coaches get you to Emerald, whether they're coaches who want to build a business with you or whether they're coaches who just want the discount. A coach is a coach, and that helps you hit that Emerald. And I just want to end with this. People are going to tell you no. People tell me no every single day. People ignore me every single day. I follow up with people. I can see that they've seen my message and they don't say anything back. Take the emotion out of it. And I don't know if anyone else has been a waitress. I waitressed my way through high school and college. But anytime you're waitressing, you're trying to do what you can to up the bill. You're asking them if they want coffee. You're asking if they want dessert. And when someone says no, it's not like you go crying in the back room because somebody turned down your coffee. It's part of the job. People tell you no every day. There's no emotion attached to it. Move on. So as you're going through this, yes, I want you to be excited about helping other people and being able to make an impact in someone else's life and potentially change their whole future. But understand, people will absolutely tell you no. People tell me no every single day. Don't get hung up on it. Understand it's just part of the process and just take it as each day. Go forward, invite more people, follow through all of your business activity tracker things. And if you consistently show up with that, you'll see the results in your business as well. So that is it. Finishing 4 minutes before 1 o'clock. Does anyone have any other questions? Anything else? When I get this recording out to the other leaders, I'll be sure to include the PDF. So if you guys want to take notes on like the wording on things, you'll have that for that as well. And you can always take those and like screenshot from the PDF, each of the little wordings, or take them and type them up in the notes in your phone. Like I have certain things like that transformation one that I keep using. It's in a note in my phone. So anytime, like yesterday I posted a transformation picture. So after this call, before I go pick up my kiddos, I'll go through who liked it, who commented on it, and who can I send that message to. And I just keep it saved in the notes section of my phone. I have like 427 notes saved in my phone, most of which are all Beachbody related in some way, form, or fashion. Whether they're posts I've written up and never used or whatever they are. But I use my notes for everything. So, all right, well, I'm going to snap a pic of us. So if you want to turn your camera on, turn your camera on if you're hiding. Anyone gonna unhide their pretty face? Oh, there we are. We got a couple and more and more and more. Look at that. I love it. All right, last call for faces. All right, say cheese. Oh, one more. Say cheese. Thanks for getting on and hanging out with me today, ladies. I will talk to y'all soon. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a good day. Bye.